Today we're going to go ahead and talk about proportion, ratios, and percentage change. So a couple of terms that we need to make sure that we understand before we go forward is a ratio. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. And basically that just means 2/3 is a ratio, okay? That's basically a division problem. Proportion means a statement of equality of two ratios. And that's what we're going to be talking about now. So the first thing that we want to go back and we want to review from what you had learned back in 6th grade is, are these two ratios proportional? So we would have 5/6, 30/25, and we cross multiply. And 6 times 30 is 180. 25 times 5 is 125. And those two are not equal, so we would say no. These two ratios are not proportional. Next I have 7/3 and 49/21. And we would cross multiply, and 49 times 3 is going to be 147. And 7 times 21 is 147. And since these two values are equal, we would say yes. Now, the next step that you still did this last year is solving for the variable. I have 2/x equals 17/38. And what we would do is solve for the variable. So I would cross multiply, and I would have 17x equals 2 times 38 equaling 76. Divide both sides by 17. Remember, that's the division property of equality. And x is going to equal approximately 4.5. I rounded it. So then we had 13/51 equals x/17. And I cross multiply, and I have 51x equaling 13 times 17, and that is 221. Divide both sides by 51. And x ends up equaling 4 1/3, or 4.3 repeating. Okay, this is all review. Let's go ahead and talk about what you're going to be getting into here in algebra. We can use the exact same method. Now all we're doing is that we're adding a little bit more detail, we're kicking it up a notch basically to our expression. So I have 9x minus 3/9 equals 3/6. So I want to go ahead and cross multiply in order to solve this. And 3 times 9 is 27. And that's going to equal 6. This is where our distributive property comes in. Times the quantity, 9x minus 3. So I have 27 equals 54x minus 18. I'm going to add my 18 to both sides. Addition property of equality. And I have 45 equaling 54x. Divide both sides by 54. And I end up with 0.8 8, 3 repeating, equaling x. Next, I have 2z minus 4 all over 2 equals 3z plus 3 all over 4. And again, I want to cross multiply. So I have 2 times the quantity, 3z plus 3 equals 4 times the quantity, 2z minus 4. Now I want to go ahead and distribute, and I have 6z plus 6 equaling 8z minus 16. Go ahead and subtract 6z from both sides. And those cancel. I have 6 equaling 2z minus 16. Add 16 to both sides. And I have 22 equaling 2z. Divide by 2. And I end up with 11 equals z. If you ran into any problems here on this portion of the notes, go ahead, you have some space at the bottom of the page. Go ahead and jot down some questions that you have. And also at the bottom of this page, just to check that you're actually watching the video, I'd like you to write in the bottom right-hand corner what your favorite sport is. Okay, on the back here, we're talking about percent of change. So remember when we're talking about percent of change, we have a formula that says percent over 100 equals the difference all over the original amount. The difference of the two numbers all over the original amount. So if the original price was 57 and the new, or original number is 57 and the new number is 26, I would have x over 100, because that's what we're trying to find out is the percent, equals 31 all over 57. So I want to go ahead, in 31 I got that by saying 57 minus 26, and the original was 57, so that's why that's in the bottom. So I cross multiply and I have 3100 equals 57x, and x is going to be 54, and I'm rounding it, 54.4%. That's what my x ends up equaling. The next one, I have the original of 12, the new 18, and that was a 54, going back real quickly, that was a 54.4% decrease. Okay. The next one we're dealing with an increase, starts at 12 up to 18. So I have x over 100 equals 6, that's the difference in the two numbers, all over the original, which is 12. Some of us might be able to look at this and already know what's going on. Honestly, I did, but I'll go ahead and finish it. 600 equals 12x. Divide both sides by 12. And I end up with 50% equals x. All right, moving on. A shirt costs $45.57 and is on sale for 23% off. What is the sale price? So I had 45.57 times 0.23, and that ends up equaling $10.48. And it says, what is the sales price on sale for? So that $10.48, I'm going to be taking that away from $45.57. And I'll end up with a new price of $35.09. Again, this should all be review here on the back of the page. Finally, a computer that cost $9.99 was marked up 15%. How much profit does the store plan to make? So I'm going to take that $9.99. I drop the zeros off. They're just placeholders right now, and also letting me know that I'm dealing with money. I'm going to multiply it by 0.15. So when we're talking about the cost, that means how much they're buying the computer from the manufacturer at the amount that they're going to be paying for it. That's their cost. And they mark it up 15%, and I end up with 149.85. It's just asking me how much profit does the store plan to make, so I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to add 149.85 onto 9.99. If you have any questions, go ahead and write those here at the bottom of the page. And if you would, please, on the bottom left corner, draw a rectangle. Thank you.